Hi there, my name is Kelly. Welcome to the video. You're watching That Smells Divine. Today, I don't have a mic. I've been using a mic for the past couple of months and I don't have one because they both just died. Oh, hopefully the sound quality is okay. I'm sure it is. But I'm very excited to share today's content with you because what we're going to be talking about is some first sniffs that I made on a recent shopping excursion. So these are, for the most part, some budget-friendly-ish fragrances that I really just sniffed. I didn't get to wear test, literal just first impressions from like spraying on a blotter and like just literal first impressions. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I wanted to share these with you guys because most of these, if not all of these, are pretty new releases, maybe with the exception of one. And these are fragrances that I feel like no matter where you are, at least in the US, you'll be able to find them easily for the most part. So let's dive right in. All right, first stop, I made a little pit stop at Ulta and I smelled I smelled 5 fragrances actually while I was there. One of them I forgot to write down. The very first fragrance that I smelled was the new Marc Jacobs. It's called Daisy Wild. And this I've been hearing so much about on YouTube in particular, and I did like it. It was nice. It was clean. Definitely like a nice uplifting spring summer smell. I did find that it smelled pretty generic, but less generic than the other Daisy fragrances. I'm not a Daisy fan. I'm generally not like huge into most designer fragrances. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice enough that I would like to wear test it and get a sample of it for sure. I do want to give it a little bit more time. But again, it didn't like blow my mind or anything. The next fragrance that I tried was the Valentino, the new green Donna. Is a really long name. I'll put it down here. It's the green one, the Donna in Roma. And again, this one smelled really nice. I was intrigued by this because it has a tea note in it and I love tea. I believe in this one it's a Lapsang tea. And I love a tea scent so much. And so I was very excited to try this and I did like it upon first sniff. Again, it didn't blow my mind, but I did recognize like, ooh, this is nice. And it smelled different, you know, which I really appreciate. This I definitely want to try and give it a proper sample, a proper wear. But yeah, so far so good on that one. Side rant, Ulta kind of drives me nuts about this. And I don't know if this is an all the time thing or if it's just the location that I go to, but instead of using like proper tester strips like these, instead of using like legit tester strips, they use chopped up printer paper, which like, I think it really matters. It doesn't really hold the scent. Yeah, and like normally I can like spray a couple blotters and put them in my purse. And within an hour or two, I can still like smell them individually. And I couldn't, it was, first of all, most of the scent was gone. And then what was remaining was just all mixed up on all of the blotters. So yeah, I don't know if all the Ultas are doing that, but if the management of Ulta is listening to this video, get some tester strips. Next, my favorite from the lineup at Ulta was by the House of Snif, and it's called Vanilla Vice. And this was my first time sniffing anything from Snif. And I was really blown away by this. This is a beautiful spicy vanilla. It reminded me very much of Memoirs of a Trespasser by Imaginary Authors, which is one of my favorite fragrances. And this is something like after just that one, I didn't even have to spray it on myself, just spraying it on the strip, and it stayed with me through like my whole shopping excursion just from me spraying it on the strip. Like I didn't spray it on myself at all and it stuck with me. It was like in my nose hairs the whole rest of my shopping trip, and it's beautiful. So this is something that I actually think I would just get a full bottle of. I don't even think I need to like wear test it. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And the fifth and final thing that I tried at Ulta was the Philosophy, this is not a new fragrance, Philosophy Fresh Cream Cashmere, I think it's called, which was nice. It was nice and creamy and cozy and kind of fluffy. And again, that's something that I definitely would be wanting to get a sample of and explore it further. So overall, my sniff journey at Ulta was very successful, you know, except for the printer paper tester strips. But other than that, everything I smelled was great and I'm excited to explore everything further. Okay, next I went over to Target, which is like right next to Ulta at my shopping plaza, which is great. And I had very much a mission with this trip because Mix Bar has 2 new fragrances out that I was really excited to get my nose on. The first is called Passion Fruit Nectar, which was basically exactly what I wanted it to be. It was very fruity, punchy. Yeah, it was really, really good. Nice and tropical, refreshing, crisp. Yeah, like just punchy, which I love that in the summertime. I love it. The only reason why I didn't get it was because I feel like I have enough in my collection that's like pretty similar. And I don't know, I'm still on the fence. Like I thought about it. I hemmed and hawed after I left. I was like, should I have bought that? So I don't know, I might still purchase it because I mean, they're so cheap. It's not like they're, you know, I think they're like what, $25 or something. So I will probably end up getting it. It was really, really nice. And then the other one that I tried was called Salt Air. And I also really liked that one as well. Again, I feel like I have enough kind of like salty, beachy, kind of like, yeah, suntan vibes. I mean, this didn't have that kind of suntan vibe to it, but you know what I'm saying? Like that whole kind of genre of fragrances, I feel like I have enough in my collection right now. But I would like to get samples of these, well, samples of the Salt Air and just like give it a shot on skin and see what I think. But the Passion Fruit Nectar was definitely the hit for me. Then I moved to the house of Good Chemistry because they have a new release called Unknown Legend that I was very curious about. So unfortunately, that was a huge no for me. It smells exactly like Santal 33, which for some people could be a huge hit. For me, Santal 33 just smells like straight dill pickles. Like I just cannot hang with that fragrance. I can't. Like it's probably one of my least favorite fragrances ever, which is funny because it's such a polarizing fragrance. People either absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it. If you are a Santal 33 fan, and you don't necessarily have the cash to dish out for Santal 33 because it's not cheap, I would definitely go to Target and get your nose on Good Chemistry Unknown Legend because I think it's a pretty spot on dupe and I think you'd be very happy with that fragrance. I can't speak to the longevity of anything from the house because I don't own anything from the house, but it's definitely worth a shot. And then next up, I tried 2 of the new releases from Finery. They only had 2 of the new releases there. I was trying to smell all the new releases. There were only 2 available. So the first one I smelled is called Without a Trace. This was nice. Nice woodsy musk with a very faint neroli note. This is something that when I left Target, I keep calling it Target, when I left Target and like went to do more errands, this was the other one that I was like thinking about. I was like, should I have just gotten that? Because they're so cheap, you know? But yeah, very nice, very like clean, subtle kind of skin scent type of vibe. Obviously the name is very appropriate, Without a Trace. I definitely would recommend that if you're looking for like a clean kind of skin scent that smells kind of like musky and slightly floral. So that is Without a Trace. And then the second one that I tried from Finery was Pistachio Please. And I was a little disappointed by this one. I just have to be honest with you guys. If you've been following me for a bit, you know that I'm really, really into pistachio right now. And I'm a huge fan of Yum Pistachio Gelato. I know that not everyone is. For me personally, I absolutely love it. And it just kind of set the bar high for me with pistachio fragrances. So with Finery's version of Pistachio Please, which I'm assuming is a dupe for Yum Pistachio Gelato, I'm assuming, but it's not a dupe whatsoever. It was very heavy on the vanilla and on the tonka, and I didn't really get enough of the nuttiness coming through, which is like why I like pistachio fragrances, is for that nuttiness. So yeah, that one was not a hit for me whatsoever. But anyways, out of all of these that I've shared with you today, I'm sure that you could find one, or at least one or 2 that you really enjoy. I love that in the perfume world, we have options based on our personal budgets, and that you don't have to be like super well off to smell really good. There's lots and lots of options between dupe houses and just less expensive houses, and like the gray market, and just all these different ways that we can access fragrances when we just might be in a place where we don't have a lot of extra cash. So I love that. And these are all great options. I know that every single person could probably find something in here that would suit them for the summer, for sure, the spring and summer. So I hope you enjoyed this list. Let me know in the comments. I would love to know if there are any cheapies, quote unquote. I say that, it's not derogatory. I just mean like budget friendly fragrances. If there are any that you are loving right now that are maybe new releases, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you're wearing and what you're excited about. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.